When we started the gallery, Arun and I in the bungalow, this little boy used to be crawling all around. Artists would be picking him up and put him in corner. Again, he'd be crawling into the room.
Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
Why it is Gallery 7?
Mr. Shah Art Gallery, Mr. So-and-so Art Gallery. So my father started the gallery in the 1970s. Even my card, my business card, has my father's writing of Gallery 7 in the original font.
To my understanding, how much does this cost?
I must have sold it for 2.5 lakhs.
Okay.
20 years
like 20 years ago. Okay.
Today, what do you think it should be?
30 lakhs?
In those days, when you had a Hussein like this, and you wanted to come in to buy the painting, I would tell you to take it home. Now you come in and say, I want a Hussein. I said, well, you'll have to wait because we've got so many people looking to buy art. So where I want to place works is I will decide who I really like. If you've got a great smile, I might give you the painting. People get scared about the fact of asking questions. If I tell you, these cross sections of the painting, build, it's simple. And do you like it? What do you think?
No, I think I prefer that.
That's it. This was part of the series of King and Queen. Why are the bodies
So intimate, yeah.
But they also look at the forms, right? Look at the features. But his early works were landscapes from 1910. I will use Indian materials, so this is basically cloth. It's natural-based color. I want every Indian home to have one of my paintings. 1 rupee a painting. You've got another artist over here, Ram Kumar. He was in Paris painting these very international figures. And he went to Banaras in the 1960s and everything changed. Akbar Padamsi here, you can touch him there. He's bronze. One scar. And you see the little green and the browns?
Right.
It's the patina. So as time goes, the patina will change the color of the sculpture a little bit. It's interesting.
So if I can ask you, how much does this cost?
How much do you think it costs?
Maybe 30.
இந்த தீபாவளிக்கு நம்ம பூர்விகால விவோ மொபைல் வாங்கி 10 மடங்கு மகிழ்ச்சி பெறுங்க.
ஸ்ரீகுமரனின் காதலி திருவிழா அக்டோபர் 18 முதல்.
வணக்கம் IndiaGlitz நேயர்களே, கௌஷிக் இஸ் பேக் டு த சேனல். ரொம்ப நாள் கழிச்சு திருப்பி சேனலை பார்த்துட்டு இருப்பீங்க நான் நம்புறேன். இந்த வாட்டி ஒரு சின்ன சேஞ்சோட என்னோட செகண்ட் இன்னிங்ஸை சென்னையில் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாமல் உங்கள் எல்லா IndiaGlitz நேயருக்காகவும் மும்பையில் நாங்கள் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறோம். என்னோட ஷோ எடுத்ததுமே மங்களகரமாக இருக்கணுன்றதுக்காக என்னோட ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஷோ வந்து ஒரு லக்ஷ்மி கலா சாத்திரமா அந்த மாதிரி ஒன்று ஆரம்பிக்கலாம்னு யோசிச்சப்போ எங்கள் மைண்டுக்கு தோணுது வரலட்சுமி மேம் இன்டர்வியூ பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி. அவங்க ஷூட்டிங்கில் கொஞ்சம் பிஸியாக இருக்கிறதுனால அவங்களுக்கு இப்போ கல்யாணம் ஆயிருக்கு. அதனால் அவங்க ஹஸ்பண்டோட ஒரு கேலரி இருக்குது, ஒரு ஆர்ட் கேலரி இருக்குது. அந்த டூருக்கு தான் நம்ம போக போகிறோம். வாங்க, லைவ் ஃப்ரம் மும்பை. ஸோ அவங்க கேலரி நேம் Gallery 7 அண்ட் மிஸ்டர் நிக்கலஸ் அவங்களோட ஹஸ்பண்ட் அதை ஃபுல்லாக பார்த்துட்ருக்காரு. ஃபுல்லாக அமேசிங்கான ஆர்ட்லாம் இருக்கான். இது வரைக்கும் நான் ஆர்ட் கேலரிலாம் போனதே கிடையாது. மொதல் வாட்டி உள்ளே போகிறேன். என்ன சர்ப்ரைசஸ்லாம் இருக்குதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. வாங்க, லெட்ஸ் கோ இன். Gallery 7 ஏன் பேர் வச்சுருக்காங்கன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. லெட்ஸ் see.
Hi, welcome to Gallery 7.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming. Was it a good flight?
Yes, totally.
I want you to meet my team before we start. It's Karthik, my CEO.
Hi.
Ram, my wife. My wife calls him my second wife. Ram looks over everything. Finance, accounts, everything. He's my all-rounder. You've got Million who heads my design head.
Hi.
And this is some of my support team who've been with me for how many years? 20? 15, 25 years, 10 years, 15 years. My entire team is what builds my business. They're family to me. Without them, I'm non-functional. So there's a lot of love in this room, and these are the people that actually support me in doing what I can. Right? So these are my core team. Thank you so much for coming to Gallery.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great way to start the show. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'm I'm so excited to be in Bombay and to start my second innings with my channel here. I'm back to channel after 3 years.
Happy for you.
Thank you so much. I never even dreamt that I'm going to start the show here in such a great place.
It's very, very kind. Welcome to Bombay.
Right.
Welcome to Gallery 7.
Thank you.
And your journey starts here, right? Many different ways.
Yes.
I'm so happy to have you. Thank you so much for making time to come here.
It's all a pleasure. So let me start. Why it is Gallery 7? 7 is my favorite number also because
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? You know, the funny thing is most people in every business will name their businesses or their companies after their name. Mr. Shah Art Gallery, Mr. So-and-so Art Gallery. My father was a little different, sort of a eclectic human being. He wrote and he read, and I think for him it was finding a number which was slightly different. The gallery's name was slightly different. So my father started the gallery in the 1970s, founded by my mother who's upstairs, and my father who's not with us anymore. But when the gallery was started in the 1970s, there was no art market at all. There was no business of art. We would promote artists because my parents loved art and they were in sort of the creative field. So when they were conceptualizing a name, thought of Gallery 7 and it stuck. Even my business card has my father's writing of Gallery 7 in the original font.
Right.
So I think it's the 7 that has catapulted us into where we are today, and maybe my dad's blessings as well. So the name is retained by us for many different reasons.
To my understanding, how much does this cost me?
We don't, I think sometimes when we quote prices, it's a little crude. I'll give you a better way of responding to your question. Something like this, when I took over the art business, or when I took over the gallery, I must have been late teens. So I've been in this field for maybe 20 odd years. When I sold my first Hussain, this size painting, I must have sold it for 2.5 lakhs.
Okay.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, okay.
Today, what do you think it should be?
20 years back, it's 2.5 lakhs is what you sold.
Yeah.
And like today, maybe 10 times, it should be 15, 20 lakhs.
A little bit more.
30 lakhs.
So Hussain has such a large demand. Hussain has actually grown year on year. So if in 2001, this would have been maybe about 4 lakhs. In the 90s, this would have been 2.5 lakhs. 2001, 4 to 5 lakhs. Today, it's worth 10 to 12 crores.
This one?
This one.
10 to 12 crores.
10 to 12 crores. And it's already sold. So the thing is with Indian art today, it's a seller's market. Finding works by these masters is hard because the demand is so large and the supply is only this much.
Right.
This is not like a luxury store when you walk into, a Louis Vuitton and you see one bag, they create thousands of that bag. The artists have created one work. So the value is the authenticity of the artist creating one individual piece. Now that's again a Hussain here. You'll see the difference in the horses. What do you think the difference is?
I think that's a full horse and this isn't.
Sure. What else? What else do you see?
The colors.
So
and the head.
look at
the head.
Right, the head,
Head.
but look at the features as well. You see that?
Right.
So this could have been like a horse from the Karbala series, a war horse, where a warrior would get on this and fight. Here, for me, it's prancing horses. Horses running in a field, running outdoors. So if you look at the finer details, one artist, 2 different horses, you'll see small details which tell a story. And art's like story time, it's bedtime. It's great because if you actually understand and spend a little bit of time, you'll see that actually it's really simple. So 5 horses running, the green's probably a field, right? The earth is by the browns.
Right.
You see a horse like this, it's got reds, it's striking, it's got the features of a warrior horse. You see that?
Right.
So he's prancing maybe to war. Where's his soldier? I don't know, but I see the horse. So you've got 2 Hussains over here. You've got another one of Hussein's works from the 1990s. Now, what do we see here?
Yeah, in a palace, this looks like an entertainment zone there. I couldn't.
It's perfect. That's perfect. That's it.
Okay.
See, you spend 5 minutes with me and you could teach me a few things, but that's exactly what it is, right? It's musicians performing. I visualize an audience here, right? You see where the musicians are looking, the cross angle. Sometimes he didn't want to pay features on a face. So you remove the eyes, you remove the mouth, but you still see the expressions. They're very subtle. You know, maybe it's in Urdu, maybe it's in Hindi, maybe it's a ghazal, right? You can see the Indian instruments. So everything tells a story, but that's exactly what it is. It's a performance.
Right.
Now, something like this of Hussain, 1 year ago, we'd be selling this for 2.5 to 3 crores. Today it's worth 5 to 6 crores. So Indian art is not just paintings, but it also is an asset class, which today investors from all over the world are coming to buy art because it's tangible. You can hang it at home, and while you're sleeping, it rises in value. You see? So it's multifaceted that way.
So before we move on there, so quickly to this one, you said this has already been sold, right? So you have your own clientele who follows you for your work.
So the way it works is, it's all about relationships, right? The gallery, when it was started in the 70s, there was no art market. And when my mum and dad actually promoted the galleries, maybe we were 3 in the country, 3 in Bombay, maybe 1 or 2 in Delhi, and that was about it. So in those days, when you had a Hussain like this, and you wanted to come in to buy the painting, I would tell you to take it home. Say, please take it home, hang it on your walls, and if you like it, pay us in a couple of months.
Okay.
So we've cultivated a buyer market. We've been there for the journey when there was no monies in art, and today when there's monies in art, things change a little bit. Now you come in and say, I want a Hussain. I said, well, you'll have to wait because we've got so many people looking to buy art. So now it moves to people who are genuine collectors, who want to build a collection, who are looking to make art maybe as a long-term investment. So where I want to place works is I will decide who I really like. If you've got a great smile, I might give you the painting. You know, so literally comes down to that. It comes down to relationships. And if you do anything with passion for a long time, and you're passionate about what you do, there will be clientele.
Right.
So, and we're also in the right time of the right market. So the reason why we are in such a good place in today's market, because we've been here 50 years. So imagine how many people we've met, we build relationships with. So for us to sell a painting is very, very easy. Finding a painting is not that easy. So when we do find one, it moves rather quick.
Wow, okay. So
That's the journey
where do you find these people? Like, do you have your own seller?
So a lot of these artists passed away, right? Unfortunately. We lost Hussain Saab, we lost Raza, we've lost most of the senior artists were in their 90s, and sort of some even touched 100 and passed away. So when the artist is not there anymore, their works are in the market. Now, 50 years being in the business, I know where paintings are kept. You bought something from me in the 1970s, he bought something from me in the 1990s, you bought something from me 5 years ago. Everyone may want to sell something at one particular time, and think about it. Today, if I've got a Hussain like this, I paid 5 lakhs for it, and my kid's going to university, right? I want to buy a house. I've got a marriage in the family. To sell a painting is easy. You don't need to sell your house to pay for your kid's education. You don't need to sell your car. You sell one painting, and it takes care of everything.
Everything. Right?
So there will be a seller for everything at one particular time. That's how it works.
Right. So, to my understanding, does this painting has any insurance to this or something? No.
All the works in our gallery are insured.
Okay.
So the moment the work enters my gallery, till it's delivered to the client or back to the seller, we're completely insured. And that's really important. That's a really good question, because if there's any fire, if there's any theft, my client's works, as well as my seller's works, and maybe the buyer, like the buyer's paid for the painting, he's waiting for delivery, is completely secure. It's important. Good question.
So why these red dots here? That means it's sold, is it?
Yeah, because otherwise you got to tell people like, no, that's not available. This is easy. It's a little code we have in the art business.
Right.
When you see a red dot, it's sold.
It's sold.
Or you can take it off and make a bindi. No, you can't. But it's sold. So generally, people know that when they walk in the gallery, they know what's available without me saying anything.
Let's quickly see the other things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Walk you around a little bit. So behind you, you've got another artist called J. Swaminathan. Very important artist. He didn't get his dues till he passed away. Known as his Bird and Mountain series. What do you see?
It's a pathway to a prosperity, something like that.
What else do you see?
A tree and a bird.
Right. And that's the name of the series.
Okay.
It's Bird, Tree and Mountain series, and that's exactly what you see.
Okay.
So, the thing is, art's really simple. People get scared about the fact of asking questions. People get scared about the answers as well. Will it be too complicated? If I tell you, these cross sections of the painting, build, it's simple. And do you like it? What do you think?
No, I think I prefer that.
That's it. That's how it works. Why?
Yes, I could resonate with it, but not with this.
You know what? The word resonate is exactly what we use. Because if you resonate with something, you know you want it, right? Or you know at least it captivates you.
Right.
So in art, when people walk in, I tell them, listen, you don't hold back emotions. Either you like it or you hate it.
That's it.
There's no midway for me. There's no like, oh, maybe. No. You love it? Okay. Now, does it fit in your price range? If it doesn't, we find you another work in your price range. Something that you love. You have to buy art that you love. Just because the artist is famous doesn't work. You have to love what you buy. I will guide you to pick the artist that will grow while you sleep, right? So it's a win-win on both accounts. That's what we do.
So, but okay, you do the perfect job of like me identifying the authentic product.
Yeah.
But in the market, I think there's too many players right now who does like does
So in
the
any-
fake stuff and everything.
In any market that is got monies, you'll see dodgy people everywhere. Whether it's the luxury handbag business, or whether it's in any kind of business, whether it's car or watches. you know.
Right.
If you want to buy a Patek Philippe, you've got documents to check, but not just documents. You need to know who and where you're buying it from.
Right.
For me, selling a 10 crore painting or a 20 crore painting, our due diligence is as much if you bought a 10,000 rupee painting. We don't have anything for 10,000. Our ticket size starts at about 25 to 50K. But our due diligence goes from that price range all the way to the top. So the most expensive art, painting that we have is probably worth 45, 50 crores for one piece. But we will spend the same amount of time in doing the paperwork check, the painting check, the trail of the painting. So we call two things when we do our due diligence. One is authenticity. Is the work real or not, right? So artist documents, family documents, where does the work come from? And there's provenance, which is the trail of the work from the artist who painted all the way to us. What was the journey of the painting? So these two things go hand in hand. And of course, then you check the work, you check the signature, you check, there's lots of details, but that comes with experience. So if you were to buy from us, or maybe a handful of people in the country, you're going to get an authentic piece. But if you try and cut short to save a buck, then I'm sorry, you're going to be ripped off. So, which is true. So this was a work by Hussain again. Now you see
It's a masjid.
what is correct, but it's where? Kaaba.
Kaaba, yeah.
So again, you don't generally see works of Hussain in this series. This was painted for a collector on request. And it's a beautiful work again. So artists also painted many different series. They painted religion, they painted, and it was done without it was done with a lot of love. So you had Hindu artists painting different religions, art really had no boundaries, and it was accepted by everyone. And that's the beauty of art as well. So one of Hussein's works, a rare piece of work, and then you see juxtaposed against that, you've got an international traveler, looks like my wife from the back, with a hat, but she won't carry a guitar. But, an international woman traveling to London or Europe, and that's another of Hussein's works. So you see the different styles that he painted in, and mediums as well, it's the pastels on paper.
And
So-
this one?
You have Robin Mondle here. Unfortunately, he got traction after he passed away. I think he passed away in 2016 or 17. No, it wasn't 17. Sorry, it was 19. This was painted in 2017. This was part of a series of King and Queen. Now, if you look at a piece like this, you'll ask me, he says, oh, but the King and Queen, why are the bodies?
So intimate, yeah.
But they also look at the forms, right? Look at the features. So the artist was based in Calcutta, and it's also about struggles of the people. So it's almost a combination of the king and queen and the struggles of man and woman and struggles of the time. So art also talks a lot about the environment in a city or a country, and it's the artist's reflection. So a lot of artists painted war, they painted famine, they painted struggles, and that's the great part. Everything told a story. It's how well are you willing to listen? That's the difference.
Right.
You had another artist here who is very, very important, Jamni Roy. This is pre-independence. So the work would have been created, he's considered a pre-independence artist. This would have been created in 1955. But his early works were landscapes from 1910. Moved on to painting different subjects once he visited a Kaligarh temple. And he got rid of all his international canvases and paint, and he said, I need to be completely Indian. I will use Indian materials, so this is basically cloth.
Okay.
And the material is tempera, which is it's natural based color. And he said, I'm not going to follow any international means. I want every Indian home to have one of my paintings. 1 rupee a painting. Again, he was highly prolific, well recognizable, and this was painted in a mosaic style. Again, what do you see over here?
It's Ramayana.
That's it, that's the series.
That's it.
Exactly.
So how much does it cost me, this book? Like, if you can...
Jamni Roy, we were selling this size for about 25 lakhs 2 years ago. Today it's worth about 65 to 75 lakhs for this.
There's a demand.
There is a demand. Then you've got another artist over here, Ram Kumar. So Ram Kumar, he was basically an artist, again, he's top 10. He was in Paris painting these very international figures, men and women in suits, or men in suits with ties, like a sat-down series. And he went to Banaras in the 1960s and everything changed. No more international influence is the Banaras Ghats. They painted in the 1960s, repainted in the 1980s, and painted all the way till he died. One of his most important series. But that was the turning point when an artist gets influenced by something that is so large. If you've been to Banaras, you will see the impact that it has on most people. This guy changed his complete style and form because of his one visit to Banaras.
Banaras, okay.
As I said, we've always liked different mediums. Different mediums also change the angle of a room. So for example, you've got Akbar Patamsi here. You can touch him though. He's bronze. One scar. So bronzes are great because you can leave them outside. They can handle rain, they can handle weather. And you see the little green and the browns?
Right.
It's the patina. So as time goes, the patina will change the color of the sculpture a little bit. It's interesting. The greens might come out, the browns might come out. We don't know what might come out.
So if I can ask you, how much does this cost?
How much do you think it costs? 6 lakhs?
I don't know. I think
It's not too bad, just double it up a little bit.
Maybe 30.
It's at 15, but I'm pretty certain this was selling for about 6 to 8 less than a year ago. They're about 15 now. I reckon because of the demand, this should be at 25 to 35 very soon. Very soon. Good call.
Now its selling price is like 15.
It's at 15. We had 3 pieces, 2 have already sold, and 1's kept. I might take it home though. I might not be selling this though. My daughter likes it, so we'll see.
Interesting. I never realized art gallery could offer so much.
It does, and it's a great way to spend an afternoon as well.
Yeah, totally.
So
Yeah.
people say, oh, you know what, honey, where should we go today? Let's go to a movie. Let's go to a bookstore. Let's go to the park. Why not an art gallery? Don't be scared to ask questions. I mean, I taught my daughter this at a very young age. Ask. When she was high, she would come with me everywhere. Daddy, why is this in orange? Daddy, why is this in red? And when you learn and you ask questions, you learn. And that's exactly about any other field.
Totally. So what's that?
That's for you, that's water. So
From which age is that? Like
it's old, man. It's 1940s, Jamni Roy again. Jamni often painted on different mediums. Pots, pictures, wood. So a lot of the artists had to use materials that they could find easily available. Not a lot of them went to Europe and came back. So the ones that were homegrown had to use materials that was easy for them to find and use. So there you've got a simple picture, painted by Jamni Roy. Priced at, I think it's 15 or 18 lakhs.
now,
Now.
like 5 years back, it should be somewhere about
5 years back, like, how much do you say?
2-3 lakhs.
Yeah, correct. I'm just bang on the money. Because if that was 18,
Right.
18 to 25, it all proportionate.
Proportionates, right. So do we get this international artist as well here?
I took Indian art abroad. So for the longest time, my father and I ran a gallery in Toronto, in Canada. From the 90s, I must have had it for about 15 years, till the markets in India really took off, and we don't need to go anywhere now. We had a franchise in Dubai, a franchise in London. We've done all of that. But the demand here is so much that I don't need to move. I can literally come to the gallery. The demand is so large that I don't need to be in any other place. And why should I promote international art at the moment when I've grown up with these artists? For now, I'm going to stick with who I love and what I'm dealing with. Will I deal with Picassos and Monets and Manets? We've dealt with a few over the years. Will I leap into it. Not at the moment, but we'll see how life goes. My mother's over there.
Hi.
You want to join us for a minute? So I tell people when people come to Gallery 7 that I work here. She owns the gallery. It's actually her labor of love with my father, Nicholai Sachdev, and he was a pioneer in the field. So my mom comes every day to work, paints in the gallery. She says, son, I can't paint at home. We've got a big house, but there's a lot of noise. Well, it's our gallery, paint whatever you like. She'll take off her shoes and she'll paint in a corner.
I must be very honest about him. Today when I stand by him, I'm so proud of my son. Believe me.
Sweet.
When we started the gallery, Arun and I in the bungalow, this little boy used to be crawling all around. Artists would be picking him up and put him in corner. Again, he'd be crawling into the room. So he was used to probably being pampered by the big artists who were very common.
And those days, everyone was struggling.
No,
Galleries were struggling, artists were struggling. It was a lot of done for love. It's no other
People
reason.
just loved art. This little boy, Hussein ki kahani you heard. This little boy used to be a baby when he was born. Hussein Sahab would call us, Arun and me. What are you guys doing Sunday? At home, having beer or something. So he says, come home, bring the prince also. The Chotu ko hum log jaake. We would wrap him up, go in a car. He used to be just, his house is still there. So there we would go and then Hussein Sahab will, he opened the door. So I said, what is this, Hussein? What is this? Why is your wall like this? And the little boy is with my arm, my husband. He said, how do you keep your books, Chandra? I said, at an angle. So it at an angle. We used to put this guy in his bedroom, and that's where his whole life began.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you.
It was...
So the history of our gallery is also with the people that promote it. So you know when you ask us about why us and why not someone else, one, you'll never be able to see this collection anywhere else. We're probably the largest gallerist in terms of art. Size is not everything. It's what we hold on our walls, what we store, right? We're in Kalagora, which is prime South Bombay, but it's what we make an effort to deal in. It's every single painting that I have on my walls is something that I personally like.
Means a lot.
If I don't like the artist, I don't care who the artist is, I will not deal in the artist. So it was the same thought process when it was started in the 70s, but there was no money in the business.
There was no money at all.
Nothing at all, right? Like
We didn't care.
Dad had a magazine, Mom was in theatre, Mom was an artist. But when you do things over years, somewhere the world will collide to say, listen, you put in 50 years in the business, you will make money for sure.
You
All right,
deserve
Mama,
the best.
have a seat. Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks,
Thank you.
guys. Very proud of this, my little boy.
I'll
who
take
is
that
a
back.
big man now. Yeah. Love you, son.
Okay, Mom.
Thank you all.
Thank you for joining.
Holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
இந்த தீபாவளிக்கு நம்ம பூர்விகால விவோ மொபைல் வாங்கி 10 மடங்கு மகிழ்ச்சி பெறுங்க.
ஸ்ரீகுமரனின் காதணி திருவிழா அக்டோபர் 18 முதல்.
காதோடு